If you can please pardon the massive boxes and everything behind me, and the yes, the trademark echo has made a reappearance. It's because I've just moved house. This is what's going to be my office, and that's why everything's in boxes, and I haven't got it carpeted or painted or anything like that yet. So don't worry, I'll be back in business in a week or two. But I haven't uploaded to this channel for a while. But this just takes the biscuit, really does. Like, I can remember when this first happened, right? Because I think Mike Ward went through his shit before I went through the Nazi pug thing, and he follows me on Twitter and stuff like that. But he, like, see how I got to pay £800, compared to Mike Ward's case. I am I got off lucky. Canadian comedian loses appeal, must pay $35,000 for a joke. A Quebec judge rejected part of comedian Mike Ward's appeal regarding a joke about a disabled boy. The key word here is joke. It was a joke. He made a joke. He's being asked to pay a stupid amount of money because he hurt someone's fees. Like, he didn't steal anything from anyone. He didn't assault anyone. No one was physically damaged. I would even say nobody was emotionally damaged. Right? He made a joke and hurt some people's fees, and he's being asked to pay 35 grand. But that wasn't the original amount. Ward was ordered to pay $35,000 to Jeremy Gabriel, who suffers from a genetic disorder that causes facial deformity and affects his hearing, due to a joke that the comedian told at shows between 2010 and 2013. Two of three judges ruled Mike Ward's comments regarding Gabriel were not justifiable in a society where freedom of expression is valued. Have you ever heard such doublespeak? like, oh, I swear to God. That's like saying you're not allowed to shoot that gun at this gun range. You're not allowed to drive that car on this freeway. That statement makes no sense. That statement makes absolutely no sense. Who said that statement? Your free speech isn't allowed in a society where free speech is valued. That makes no fucking sense. Ward was originally ordered to pay an additional $7,000 to Gabriel's mother for reasons completely, utterly fucking unknown. Right, she wasn't the one that got joked about, so she can fuck off. I think they rejected her $7,000 anyway, a fine which the courts overturned due to the indirect relationship between the joke and the boy's mother. Yeah, this is a cash grab. That's all this is. This is a complete, utter fucking cash grab. They're just trying to earn money. That's all it is, basically. The courts allow stupid rules like this to come in, people will abuse them to make a quick buck. That's all this is, a cash grab. The joke in question was regarding Gabriel's disability. In 2005, Gabriel sang to Pope Benedict and Celine Dion to flesh out his dream of becoming an international singer. Ward's joke called Gabriel a bad singer, stating that he was terminally ill and that Gabriel not passing away meant that his make-a-wish was invalid. That's just basic comic jokes, man. That's just basic fucking jokes. Like, apparently that's worth 35 grand. Gabriel was not actually terminally ill, as Gabriel's genetic disease, Treacher-Collins syndrome, does not generally have an effect on lifespan. He was also not a Make-A-Wish kid, as Ward was embellishing the story for the sake of the joke. That's how comedy works. Subverting the expectations, making shit up, fluffing stuff up. That's what you do. You exaggerate, like that. Oh my God. 35 grand. Ward added that he tried to drown Gabriel, but he wouldn't die. Okay. Clearly that event never actually took place, right? Because Mike Ward is a comedian. Mike Ward is a fucking comedian, and all of that stuff he made up, he did it for the sake of comedy. Comedy is to make people laugh, but some people, if you joke about them, they see that as an opportunity to make some money. The Quebec Human Rights Tribunal ruled that the joke discriminated against Gabriel and his parents. How? What discrimination was there? What was Gabriel deprived of? What was he robbed of? Right? What discrimination? What jokes? He was the target of a joke. My God, My God, we need to get the UN human rights in this, man. There's war crimes happening, man. Someone had a joke told about them. Someone got their feelings hurt. You know, never mind the starving children in Africa or all of those orphans. You know, more and more orphans every day in the Middle East. You need to step in and protect this young boy from having jokes made about him. I nearly laughed. I couldn't even make it through my own fucking bullshit there. And against Gabriel and his parents, ordering Ward to pay damages. What damages? 35. How does having your feelings hurt cost you £35,000 where Mike Ward has to cover that damage? What justification? 35. How? That makes absolutely no sense. For making discriminatory comments regarding Jeremy Gabriel infringing his right to equality. Okay, so you're not allowed to say mean things about people then? You're not allowed to make jokes about people? Fucking hell, you're going to... Canadian police are going to be fucking busy. Saying mean things about someone is an infringement of their human rights. Jesus Christ, man. Just before Christmas as well, Canadian police are going to get a lot of fucking overtime. A lot of fucking overtime. Especially with just the media. That's going to take them a few years on their own. Ward later tweeted that he would not be paying any fines, good man, and planned to take his case to the Supreme Court of Canada. He did actually release a tweet detailing all the stuff, basically saying he would rather go to jail and pay the fine, and I completely agree. I felt the exact same way. Basically, I committed absolutely no crime. I shouldn't have received any type of punishment, you know, outside social consequences. Mike Ward has also committed absolutely no crime. What he did, definitely, I would love to see the justification as to how having someone tell a joke about you cost you 35 grand, so Mike has to pay it back. I would love to see that reasoning. I would absolutely love to see that reasoning as to why that cost him 35 grand. I don't get it. I don't get it. How do you evaluate that? In a free country, it shouldn't be up to a judge to decide what constitutes a joke on stage. Gospel truth, he wrote. The people in attendance laughing already answered that question. Wow, it's almost like he just told a joke with the purpose of being funny, and sometimes the shocking stuff gets the biggest laugh. Ward's lawyer, Julius Gray, believes the decision seriously impacts the world of stand-up comedy. Yes, it does. In this particular case, if the judgment is maintained, no one will be able to dare to be a stand-up comic, because normally you make fun of things that are controversial. True. Otherwise, it's not funny, Gray said. If anything that is controversial can authorise someone to say, I was hurt, I'm going to court, we're finished. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's it, fucked. That's it. Comedy in Quebec is fucked. Because basically, if you say anything about anyone now, you're going to get taken to court and get ordered to pay tens of thousands of fucking dollars because you hurt someone's feelings. Mike Ward should say that he feels discriminated against, and that boy is infringing on his right to freedom of speech and his right to feed and clothe and house himself. so he should sue the boy for 35 grand. Probably about 50 grand for hurt feelings, you know, all the other stuff on top of it. Fuck it, do it for a laugh. If that kid wanted to do a cash grab, fucking do it back to him. Ward will appeal the case to the Supreme Court, Gray said on Thursday. While the Charter of Rights and Freedoms guarantees freedom of expression, the appeals court ruled that Ward had gone too far, passing what's permissible by law. Well, then it doesn't guarantee freedom of expression. Okay, Quebec does not have freedom of expression. Well done. You've just fell further down in the Freedom Index. What is funny for some can be considered bad taste by others. Humour, especially the kind of humour that Mr. Ward practices, can appeal to sarcasm, mockery, and even insult. The border between limitation to freedom of expression in the name of dignity and censorship is thin. Comedians must realise, however, that artistic freedom is not absolute, and they, like all citizens, are responsible for the consequences of their words when they cross certain limits. So does that basically mean that if people went and beat these judges up, we can say, well, you need to be held responsible for your own words? Right. I'm sick of this fucking argument that people keep making. Oh, there are consequences for the things that you say. Well, it depends on whether or not those consequences are justified. For example, if someone calls me a dick and I call him a dick back, justified. If someone calls me a dick and then I burn their house down with them inside it, not exactly justified, is it? You know, the punishment doesn't exactly meet the crime. You know, for example, Mike Ward hurt some people's fifis and he has to pay 35 grand. That is an extreme fucking punishment. That's like giving a shoplifter a life sentence. That is an extreme punishment, right? That's a draconian. I was going to say pretty much it's not. It is draconian. 35 grand for hurting someone's fucking feelings. I mean, the £800 in my case was already too much, but this is something else entirely, right? So Quebec has fallen down in the Freedom Index. You know, you'll be sitting right next to Saudi Arabia soon, and this is a cash grab. Basically, people just saw an opportunity to take someone to court and make a little bit of money. Like, because I guarantee you, like, whenever people get offended or hurt, it lasts for about 5 minutes, half an hour, maybe a day, or maybe a week if you are a complete fucking pussy, right? It doesn't last that fucking long, right? You know, you were hurt, you're offended. You know what? You'll be fine. You'll still be able to go to work. You'll still be able to pay your bills. You'll still be able to do all the things you were usually doing. You're just going to be a little bit pissed off. But no, apparently that means that you owe them 35 grand.